Okay, what's up? I'm back. I'm down here in Florida, and welcome to Tank Nation. Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump right into this video. It's extremely hot. I'm here in Florida, and I'm at a customer, and we had to wait for a couple of hours because the paperwork was off. It wasn't my fault. It was the batch and the weight, which I have no control over. The print up and everything wasn't correct. So we're finally getting. We're going to air off and pump off at the same time. The customer is providing both pump and air. I'm gonna show the hookup. So up top, I'm gonna be hooking up with a airline going into the tank, and then from the bottom, we're going with a 3-inch to the customers, 3 to 3 inch. Both are 20 sections of hose, and it's gonna be loud. Probably, I don't know if it's gonna be loud or not, but I'm gonna show everything, and then I'll come back and describe what y'all saw. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're back. So hopefully my fingers wasn't in the way. So I kind of had my fingers on the side over there. So hopefully they wasn't in the way of, you see no fingers in it. If it was, I apologize. I'm either going to show this or I'm not going to show it. I haven't decided. Well, I make sure with the fingers, you can see the edge of the fingers would make it sucks, but oh well. But I didn't want to pass the opportunity because someone asked me about the air hookups, the airline. So we're coming from the customer. He's pumping quite a bit of air in there, so the pop-off valve may pop off. Depends on how much pressure he puts in there. It'll pop off at about anywhere from 37 and above psi, sometimes 40 and above psi. It'll be loud if it pops off. But the customer is controlling that, so I can regulate it. But if they want to go wide open to make it offload faster, I let them do that. And he's using a 3-inch centrifugal pump, and it goes from a 3-inch all the way down to a 2-inch to the plant facility on the receiving side of the house. So that's basically it. So I went ahead and used one section of 3-inch line from my truck, from the hose rack, and I helped him hook up, and I went up top and hooked up the airline. When you see me adjusting the airline, it's because it had a little pinch in it. So, but right now it's at about 30, 32, 35 psi right now. So that's basically it. So that is once again, that's the hookup of it. So once again, we're here in Florida, and we airing off and pumping off. The customer's doing everything. I went ahead and helped him hook up the 3-inch line from our outlet to his inlet and to the pump. From that centrifugal pump, it's an electric pump. Usually there are two types of pump. It's either electric or a pneumatic, which is air. So this is a electric pump, and maybe another operator has showed up. But then he went back, he did all the paperwork and everything, and they got the paperwork sent in from the customer, the shipper. And the paperwork that I had was the paperwork, but he just had the wrong batch number and the weight, which I have no control over. So, and yeah, it's kind of hot. I could be out in my truck, but I'm not. But I'm here running my grandmama box fan back there, I call it. My box fan off my generator. We're not gonna be out in my truck. I'm not doing it. But anyway, so once again, and to the customer, and with us airing off and pumping off at the same time, you should be looking anywhere about 45 minutes. But I've already overstayed what I call my welcome, because this I should have been in and out already, but the paperwork was wrong. And once again, we had no control over the paperwork. I had no control over the paperwork. So, and I also was asking some questions. So I'll go ahead and answer some questions that I was asked, because I respond to all of my questions. I do right now until the channel continues to grow extremely big, and I will try my best to answer every question that is asked. And if it's the same questions over a lot of questions of the same thing, I will do it for the whole thing. So they was asking me, I was asked about, did I own my own truck? Yes, I own my own truck. I'm a contractor, so I own my own truck. I've been blessed. I paid for this truck within 3 years, about 3 years. Truck's paid for, so I own it straight out, title, shebang. It was I didn't have a balloon note at the end, so the truck's paid for. I use their trailers, but my truck, I own the truck. I also own the pump that's on my truck, and I also own the hose rack on my truck. So I have a title free and clear on this truck, which is a Volvo D13 2013, and I got Volvo on Volvo power. So my engine is Volvo. I have 500 horses, and I have everything turned up. Everything on my truck is turned up, so we can get it. Next question was, what is my MPG, which is miles per gallon? Right now, this load here was 79,260, and I topped off. So, and when I top off, I threw in 120 gallons coming here. So right now my weight was, I can tell you exactly what my weight was. So 80,000 is the max I can carry, 80,000, and that's counting my truck, which is a unit, and the trailer and the trailer contents, which is chemicals. So my truck and trailer was 79,260 pounds. That's when I loaded it, and I had like half a tank of fuel. So, and I topped everything off. So let's say at 130 gallons, I did 130. It was 120. I put 120 gallons. 120 gallons of fuel, and I did that times. Diesel runs about 8 pounds per gallon, so this is how we do our weights. So diesel fuel weighs approximately 8 pounds per gallon. So I did 120 gallons times 8 pounds times 8 pounds. So that was 960 pounds, right? 960 pounds, and I'm gonna take that by half because I had a half a tank of fuel when I loaded this load. So remember, when I loaded the load, I had a half a tank of fuel, and that load was, my total load leaving from the shipper was 79,260 pounds. And that's real heavy for trucking. But because my truck is turned up, torque and everything, I'll run with that. I will run with the 79,000 and some change, and I won't feel that load back there, I promise you, unless I'm hitting hills. And if I'm hitting hills, then we attack the hill, which means I accelerate up to about 75-ish, and I attack the hill, go up the hill, top, and at the end I just coast down on the other side of the hill. But not all the time, but sometimes I have to attack it because my truck is light. It's a light truck, okay? So anyway, but not all the time. Some hills, if I'm in a very hilly area, I have to attack it. If not, I'm just gonna stall out and you don't want to do that. Not my engine stalls out, but it'll slow down all the way. And then those chemicals are going back with gravity, snatching back on my truck, which is bad for the yoke or the drive shaft and all the bearings within the shaft. Bad juju. So let's stay on point here. So that was 960 pounds, because that was 8 gallons times 120 gallons. And then we're going to divide that by 2, because I had half a tank, right? So that's 480 pounds I put on extra outside with the loading. The loading was not, so that's 480 pounds plus 79,260. So that ended up being, hold up, I did something wrong. 120, oh, I see what I did wrong. Times 8 pounds per gallon, 960, divide that by 2, which is 480. 480 plus, I should do it in my head, but I'm doing my calculator. That is 79,700, correct, and 40. All you smart people out there. So 79,740 gallons. So now let's talk about miles per gallon. At that weight, I was averaging 6.3 to 6.5, 6.3 to 6.5 miles per gallon is what I averaged coming here, and it was all flat surfaces for the most part. It was all flat